Welcome, everyone. We're so happy you're here. Welcome to Post-Purchase Offer Strategies with CartHook. In case you don't know, we're a new app in the Shopify App Store. We allow you to make post-purchase offers, deliver them to your customers after they check out and before the thank you page. I'm Lucy. I'm CartHook's Director of Marketing and Communication. I'm joined here by Katie Hughes-Olson, our Senior Customer Success Manager. She is going to kind of walk you through and show you what a post-purchase strategy is all about and how CartHook works. So before we do that, feel free to jump into the chat at any time and pop your questions in. We have left time at the end to answer all your questions. So anytime you have a question, throw it in there. We'll get to it. Hopefully you popped in and answered the poll. And now I'm going to turn it over to Katie. She's going to show you what's happening at CartHook.
Thank you, Lucy. Hi, everyone. As Lucy mentioned, my name is Katie Hughes-Olson. I'm our Senior Customer Success Manager here at CartHook. Just a little bit about me. I've been with CartHook for about 2 years now. And prior to my time at CartHook, I actually worked in the DTC space on the brand side. So kind of bring both perspectives. I worked with a lot of brands in kind of the beauty, supplement, wellness, CBD space. So one of the reasons why I love working directly with merchants here at CartHook and just kind of really helping you optimize your strategy for post-purchase. So really excited to chat with you all today. Thanks everyone for filling out the poll. It looks like we have kind of a good mix of folks, some who are completely new to post-purchase, some that are already in their free trial, maybe have set up a few funnels. So I think today hopefully should be super helpful for everyone. And just really excited to chat with you all. So as Lucy mentioned, definitely feel free to type in any questions throughout, in the chat, and we'll make sure we get to all of those at the end. And so just kind of a little recap with the agenda for today. So I'm going to first give just a little bit of context about CartHook and what post-purchase offers actually are, and then we'll jump into the product demo. So I'll show you how quick and easy it is to actually set up a post-purchase funnel on your Shopify store. And then we'll jump in and really dig into some best practices, some examples, and then we'll get into your Q&A and next steps. So I wanted to just provide a little bit of context about CartHook and who we are. Some of you may be familiar or have heard our name. We've been in the Shopify ecosystem now for a number of years, and some of you may be familiar with our legacy product, our checkout product, which provided a one-page checkout and also gave the capabilities to add post-purchase offers on your store. In the last year or so, Shopify has been working to build in a lot of new functionality into their native Shopify funnel. And so one of those things is post-purchase. And so we are just super excited to be partnered with Shopify to be able to offer Shopify stores now the ability to add post-purchase offers within their native Shopify checkout. We're really excited to be a Shopify staff pick in the post-purchase space. But with that, because we've been in this post-purchase space for so many years, we just bring a lot of kind of expertise and experience. We process more post-purchase revenue than any other Shopify app out there. So just love sharing, our expertise and best practices in this space. And I would encourage you actually, if you haven't checked out our blog, Lucy and our marketing team, they're kind of constantly posting, interviews and best practices there. So it's a great resource. And I also just wanted to kind of explain our approach to working with merchants. We really try to take a really hands-on approach and partnership-driven approach with the merchants that we work with. We have a super hands-on customer support and success team. So if you have any questions, always feel free to utilize that live chat within the app. And then, or reach out to our team if you just need some more hands-on help. We love helping to make sure you're kind of set up and optimized. And I also just wanted to give a little bit of context of what exactly a post-purchase offer is. I get this question a lot during demos. I know that there's a lot of different offer types out there and different apps out there that do offers. And so what makes CartHook unique is that we come in on the post-purchase side. So we allow you to insert up to 2 post-purchase offer pages between your Shopify checkout page and your thank you page. So it's completely built into that Shopify checkout funnel. And we find that this is a really kind of sweet spot in terms of showing your customers an offer. You're not kind of getting in the way of that checkout event, which, is so important, getting those customers to actually complete a purchase. And you're also hitting them at that really high excitement level. I think we're all kind of familiar with that feeling after you complete a purchase. And so you're able to show them an offer kind of right at that moment. And with our display criteria, which I'll show you in just a minute, you're really able to customize the offers that you're showing your customers. So you're showing them something that's super relevant to them. And just a little bit of context kind of on AOV in general. AOV is definitely that stat and metric that we really focus on here at CartHook and really helping merchants to increase their AOV. I think we've all kind of experienced this kind of whirlwind the last year and a half in the e-commerce space. There have been a lot of changes in the e-commerce world, a lot more people shopping online. I've heard from a lot of merchants that they've seen an increase in sales, seen an increase in customers, but with that, there have also been a lot of changes in supply chain, in product costs or raw ingredient costs, shipping costs. So a lot of those things kind of eating into your profits. And so one of the best things that a company can do to kind of help maintain those profits is to increase their AOV. So increase, the amount of revenue that you're getting out of each order, out of each customer, and really kind of optimizing things like your ad spend. And so that's really where we come in. And with kind of our new Shopify integration, with the ease it is to now start integrating post-purchase as a strategy, we really, kind of think of post-purchase as kind of a key part of your tech stack. So, over the last several years, things like email marketing and SMS and rewards programs have all kind of become best practice in the e-commerce space. And post-purchase is just another part of that kind of essential tech stack in the Shopify ecosystem. And we're seeing a lot more DTC brands in this space that are starting to take advantage of post-purchase. As you can see, these are just kind of a smattering of brands that we work with, but across, different verticals, product types, price points, have all found success utilizing post-purchase as a strategy. We see on average 15% conversion rates on our offer page, and on average, our merchants see a 10% increase in added revenue when using CartHook. So it's just a really great and easy way to kind of unlock some new added revenue. And so I wanted to jump into the app just to kind of give you all a sense of how to set up a funnel and how easy it is to set up. But just kind of a couple of key features of our app is that, like I mentioned, we do work with the native Shopify checkout. So there's no need to really change anything with your checkout or your payment processor. We essentially work with any supported credit card processor that Shopify works with. Shopify also just recently launched Shop Pay support. So if you're using Shop Pay, that's a really great feature. It just means more customers are now seeing your offers. With our Shopify integration, our offers are kind of a true one-click post-purchase add-on. So there's no need for customers to re-enter payment or shipping info. And then with our editor, which I'll show you in just a minute, it's super easy to set up your pages. We'll actually pull in a lot of your Shopify website elements. So it just makes that entire setup process really quick and easy and allows you to create offers really quickly. All right, so I'm going to actually jump into our admin just to kind of give you a sense of how to create a funnel. And so I'm in one of our test stores called Canopy here. We actually in this test store sell plants and plant accessories. And so you'll find CartHook now in your app section, in your Shopify admin. We do offer a free trial. So if you haven't already signed up for the free trial, definitely encourage you to do that. It allows you to just test CartHook on your store, completely for free. And I'm just on our main funnels page. So this is where you'll build all of your post-purchase funnels. We call them funnels. You can build an unlimited number of these post-purchase funnels. So there's no kind of limit to how many of these you create. You can also manage the priority of your funnels here. So maybe if a customer has many items in their cart that meet different funnel criteria, they would see the funnel that you've set as the highest priority. And I often get questions of, how many funnels should I set up or where should I start? And I typically recommend setting up a handful of funnels to start. Maybe you focus around some of your best-selling products, and then maybe create a couple more general funnels using some of our more general criteria like cart value. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. But, we also have merchants that really just focus on maybe one or two post-purchase funnels. Maybe you have a really awesome accessory product or a hero product that you want to feature. So you don't necessarily need to set up, 100 funnels to be super successful and see a lot of new added revenue. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and create a brand new funnel here. And you can, name your funnels whatever you wish. I definitely recommend, naming it something just so you kind of have at a quick glance know what the funnel is and what it's offering. So I'm going to call it Plant Webinar Funnel. And as you can see here, this funnel is currently inactive. So nothing will start triggering for your customers until you're kind of all set up and ready to set this funnel as live. And so the first thing you'll do is set your display criteria. So this is how you control how and when a post-purchase offer is triggering for your customers. And there's a lot of cool options here. I would say the most popular is using this when cart contains or does not contain certain products. And you can actually tie this to both the product level and the variant level. You can also add a number of products here, so it doesn't necessarily have to just be one product. And then you can also layer in some of these other criteria like order value or product count. So I really love using the order value criteria if you're wanting to maybe set up a couple more general funnels. So one that I really like is maybe if an order is greater than or equal to $50, you show a certain product. If the order is less than or equal to $50, maybe you show a slightly lower price point item in the post-purchase offer. So that's a really easy way to just set up a couple of more generalized funnels. And something that's really exciting, kind of a sneak peek, is this summer, we're actually going to be launching a number of new options here. So some of the new criteria that are coming down the pipeline are things like collection-based criteria, tag-based criteria, location-based criteria. So really excited about a lot of those, and you can expect those to be launching this summer. All right, so I'm going to create a really, I think, just kind of basic funnel here. So I'm going to say if the cart does not contain plant food, which is kind of our plant accessory product. This is a really great strategy. If, in this store, we're selling plants, plant food is kind of a perfect accessory product to pretty much every product in our store. And so, that's a great kind of funnel strategy. Like I said, you can limit this to a variant, although I just want to kind of create a simple offer. If the cart does not contain any variant of plant food, then I want to show plant food. And so I'm now going to add the offer and create the offer page. And as you can see, we'll pull in your products from Shopify. So that makes the setup really easy. And I actually do want to limit my offer to a variant. So in this kind of example, maybe we have a lot of excess stock of the large size of the plant food. And so I want to pre-select the variant for the customer. If you don't click this box and you have variants associated with the product, we'll just show the variant so the customer will be able to choose. And this makes a lot of sense. Maybe if you're selling apparel and you want the customer to be able to choose their size or color, for example. All right, so once you've selected your product and have attached that to your offer, now you can manage your offer settings. So we do have a little option where you can hide the offer if the product was in the initial order. This can make sense if you're using that, order value display criteria, for example. And then you can also add a special discount. So important to keep in mind that we won't be stacking or pulling over any discounts that are occurring on the checkout. This is kind of a separate page essentially. And so I usually recommend doing some type of, maybe really special discount here. It's not something that you'd be advertising, for example, like on your site. And we really find that even just a slight discount of, 10 or 20% can really boost the conversions on this page. So I'm going to just do a dollar amount off. Let's do $5. You can also limit the quantities. So maybe you don't want customers to be able to purchase, 10 plant foods at this cost. So I'm just going to limit the quantity to 3. And then you can also add special shipping. So if you want to add like a flat rate shipping to the offer, you can do that as well. I'm just going to keep this as free shipping. And kind of similar to the discounts, the customer would be charged shipping in the initial checkout. We wouldn't be pulling over those shipping fees into the post-purchase page as well. So you would, if you want to charge an added shipping cost, you would just set that here. All right, so now that I've created my offer settings, I'm going to go into the actual offer design itself. So something that's really cool about our direct integration with Shopify is that we actually will auto pull over a lot of your design elements directly from your Shopify theme. So things like your colors, your fonts, even your button formatting, your header and footer formatting, things like that will actually just auto pull over. So it really doesn't require a lot of extra dev work or, anything like that on your end. And then in terms of the actual kind of design, layout, text of the page, you'll control all of that through our really easy to use drag and drop editor. So you can see here, you can simply just click into elements and make adjustments. So I'm gonna, change the title here. And I usually recommend maybe doing a more custom headline. You can change, the size of this if you'd like. I like changing the timer to 5 minutes. You can change the color. So it's really easy to kind of click in and change elements. I usually like moving my buy now buttons closer to the top of the page, especially if you have a lot of customers shopping on mobile. It just means that they can see those offer buttons just a little bit more quickly and easily. You can change the text as well. And you can see here, if you click, right now I'm in the desktop view, you can also optimize for mobile. So you can see that makes those buttons just a lot easier to see on mobile. It's also nice because we'll pull over all of your photos from your Shopify product settings, but you can also upload custom images. So if you have a really nice editorial image, I'm seeing a lot right now around, like Father's Day. If you have kind of a cool Father's Day image, you can upload custom images for your offer pages as well. So I'm just going to keep this one super simple. In the product details, I always recommend adding, maybe a brief description just so, your customers know exactly what they're purchasing. So, I'm just going to say a perfect complement for all of your plant purchases. But, maybe if you're selling beauty products, for example, you could call out the ingredients or, the features of that product. So definitely good to include just a brief product description here. All right, so I think that this is looking pretty good. Just a note as well, if you do have multiple languages enabled on your store, you'll see those pop up here if you want to, translate to Spanish, for example. So I'm going to go ahead and save this funnel. Something to note is that you can include up to 2 post-purchase offers. So I could add a second offer page if I want. I'm just going to keep this one really simple and just show 1 offer page, but you can add up to 2. And I am going to preview the funnel just to make sure everything's kind of looking the way that I want it to. I think it's looking good. Just something to note is just due to some Shopify API limitations, you won't see all of those design elements pull into your preview here. So we always recommend completing a couple live test purchases just to make sure you like the way those theme elements are populating. But yeah, definitely great to just do a live test purchase. All right, so this is looking good. So I'm going to go ahead and make this funnel active. And then, like I mentioned, you can change the priority of your funnels. So I want to make this funnel that I'm working in right now our priority number 1 funnel. So I can show you what this whole flow looks like from the customer perspective. All right, so that's all set up now. So, really just takes a few minutes to set up your first funnel. And so now I'm going to pop into our test store. Canopy, as you can see here. And so as you can see, the entire checkout funnel is exactly the same. So you really don't need to change anything with your checkout. I get a lot of questions, do you work with Shopify Plus stores? Does your app work if our store has customizations enabled? And we work with any Shopify store at this point. So, no matter what plan you're on, you can use our app. You can also have customizations enabled on your checkout and our app will work just fine. Like I mentioned, we are essentially compatible with any credit card processor that Shopify supports at this point. So all of your customers checking out with a credit card will see post-purchase offers. Shopify also recently, just in the last couple of weeks, released support for Shop Pay, which is their wallet option. They have kind of, released a lot of stats around this, and it's, really one of the highest converting payment processors out there. So now all of your Shop Pay customers will see, your post-purchase offers. And then we actually received word that they're working on some other wallet options like PayPal. So really excited about that. We'll kind of continue to see additional wallets support being released, I believe, in the coming months. All right, so I'm just going to complete a test purchase. All right, so it's important to note here that Shopify is capturing this order at this time. So when the customer hits pay now, you're never at risk of kind of losing that initial checkout event. Shopify will send the order confirmation email, so it's super clear to your customer that that order was completed. They also add a little header at the top of the page. And sorry, my computer's being a little bit slow, I think probably because of the Zoom running. But you'll see they run this little escape hatch, they call it, at the top of the page. It just says, you paid for your order. So it's super clear to the customer that, yep, that order was completed. But this is where you can insert up to 2 of those post-purchase offer pages for the customer. And as you can see, it's kind of that true one-click post-purchase add-on. So I'm going to say, yep, purchase now. And at this point, the customer will be taken right into that normal Shopify thank you page. And you can see that that additional item was added to the order. It doesn't create a duplicate order. So, everything's simply just bundled with that initial Shopify order ID. So it makes it really clear to the customer, but also for you, makes it really easy on the fulfillment end. Just kind of popping into the Shopify order dashboard so you can just quickly see what this looks like. You'll see that we'll add a tag for any orders that have a post-purchase offer accepted. We'll add a little tag so you can easily sort if you want. And we're basically just taking advantage of Shopify's edit order API. And so that's what allows us to add on the additional item. And, the customer doesn't need to re-enter any of that payment info. And as you can see, all of the emails are still triggered completely as normal through Shopify. So we'll send out that order confirmation email from Shopify, and then the order updated email will also trigger from Shopify. And I usually get a lot of questions about like analytics as well. So we have a really awesome analytics dashboard. We just actually released a couple new features in our analytics dashboard as well, just allowing more export capabilities. But you'll see all of your different post-purchase reports here. You can export all of these reports, which will give you even more detailed info. So like if you want a full report with like all of your Shopify order IDs with the post-purchase revenue, your regular revenue, you can export all of those reports here, which is really nice. You can see things like views, accepts, declines for your top, converting offers and funnels, which makes that really easy. All right, so that's basically it for the product demo. As you can see, really quick and easy to set up. And I am just going to pop back into the deck so we can dive into some best practice, some of our best practices that we've seen for a lot of our merchants. So this is probably the top question that I get when I'm talking to merchants is how should we strategize post-purchase? What funnel should we create? And it of course depends on your store. Things to consider are how many products you offer. Do you have one product or do you have 1,000 products? Is your AOV $20 or is your AOV $200? And what vertical are you in? Are you in the supplement or beauty space, or are you maybe selling apparel or accessories? All of these things kind of factor into your strategy. But I will say that we have definitely seen post-purchase work for stores that have one product and stores that have 1,000 products. So you can definitely build a strategy that works really well for your store. And if you have any questions about this or want kind of more personalized recommendations, definitely feel free to reach out to us. And, we love helping with that. But a couple of the just kind of strategies that I see in general, the first one just being that kind of bundling strategy. So that's the funnel that I just set up. So, we have kind of some hero products in our store. We sell plants, but then we have this accessory product, plant food, that works in pairs super well with that plant. In this example, it's offer socks if your customer bought shoes. So that's kind of a really basic way to set it up. Another is this kind of BOGO concept, and this actually works really well. Maybe if you just have one or a handful of products in your store. One of our best customers, they have one SKU. They have a supplement product, and they use this BOGO strategy a lot. So in the post-purchase sequence, they're showing their customers an additional bottle of supplements for a discounted rate, and that works super well for them. And so, you can literally just have one product in one funnel and see a lot of success using that strategy. Another strategy that I really like is the volume strategy. And so this is using that display criteria if a customer has a certain number of items in their cart. So maybe if they've purchased 5 items from your store, you're showing them maybe a new product at a really discounted rate. So, you're trying to encourage them to try a different product. And this can also help boost, the lifetime value of your customers as well. Something that just kind of another sneak peek is we are working closely with Shopify on subscription capabilities in post-purchase. And so that's another feature that's going to really unlock some benefits to building lifetime value for your customers as well. So we're really excited about that. Another strategy is the gifting strategy. So, and I've seen this actually a lot because we give you the ability to add up to 2 post-purchase offer pages. So maybe on the first offer page, you're just showing a free gift. And then on the second offer page, maybe that's where you're showing, a product that maybe has an added cost. Customers always love free gifts or samples. This can work really well for, like beauty products, for example, where maybe you want to introduce them to a new product launch or something like that. But that can be a really effective strategy. The value strategy. So I talked a bit about that during the demo, but using that cart value criteria. So if the cart is greater than or equal to a certain amount or less than or equal to a certain amount, you may want to customize your offers based on that. And, the concept is that if your customer, is spending over $100, they may be more apt to purchase a higher value item in the post-purchase sequence. Another strategy that I really love is the inventory management strategy. So maybe, in my example, we had a lot of excess stock of the large size of plant food. Maybe you have a color that didn't perform quite as well as you want, or maybe just a new product that customers, it's just not getting in front of customers. The post-purchase sequence can be an awesome place to introduce a product like that you just want to get in front of your customers more and can kind of help with that inventory side of things. And then the last strategy is kind of this sampling strategy or promoting new products. And so we have a lot of merchants that actually utilize post-purchase offers to promote new product launches. So we work with a cereal company, for example, and they are always launching new flavors of their cereal, and they introduce those new flavors or say, try our new flavor in the post-purchase sequence. And so that can be a super effective strategy. All right, and so before we hop into Q&A, I wanted to just give a little bit of an overview of how our pricing works. I know that's important. So like I mentioned, we do offer a free trial. So we have a 14-day free trial. So it's super easy to test out CartHook completely for free for a couple of weeks. And then from there, you'll switch right into our growth plan pricing. And so our pricing is really set up so it can work well for brand new stores that are just getting started or really established stores. So our growth plan is $50 per month and then a 1% transaction fee on new added revenue only. So it's just tied to that new added revenue. And then we do also have our enterprise pricing plan, which starts at a flat $500 per month. And that typically makes sense once you're kind of hitting that $50K per month mark in post-purchase revenue. If you have any questions about enterprise pricing, always feel free to get in touch and we can kind of share more about those pricing tiers. But in general, both of our pricing plans are set up so you're seeing at least 100-time ROI when using the app. So hopefully, kind of a no-brainer whether you're a brand new store or a really established store. All right, so I think we're ready for the Q&A, Lucy.
Katie, thank you. That was such a great overview. Thanks for giving all that context about why CartHook boosts AOV and how easy it is to get set up. That was so great. Thank you. Yeah. Okay, so everyone who's attending, please feel free to jump in the chat, drop your questions. We have a couple coming in. So let's jump right into it, Katie. Okay, here's one about the strategies. Which of the post-purchase strategies are the top performers? You did such a great job of showing kind of the range of what people can do. Are there some of those strategies that you really recommend as a general best practice?
Yeah, I would say if you're just getting started, the two that I would recommend is that first one, that kind of bundling or accessory strategy. So think about, what your best seller is, or maybe if you have a handful of best sellers in your store, and then build out some really customized funnels around those best sellers. So maybe you have a best-selling purse. So maybe in the post-purchase, you show a really awesome wallet. We work with a store, for example, in like the baby space. So their hero product is a stroller, but then in the post-purchase sequence, they're showing like stroller accessories. So that type of strategy, I think, works pretty well for most stores. The other strategy that I recommend that's also really easy if you're just getting started is using just that order value display criteria. So if the order is greater than or equal, think about your AOV. So maybe if the order is greater than or equal to your AOV, and if the order is less than or equal to your AOV, build out a couple of different funnels around that. And you can always select that hide offer if the product was in the initial cart. So you're not kind of showing an offer that maybe the customer already purchased. So those would be my top two if you're getting started.
That's so helpful. Thank you. Yeah, it's so interesting because you can really customize your offers based on what you know about your audience, based on what's going on with your store, like that extra inventory piece you were talking about, and then looking at your AOV and looking at cart value. So there's lots of ways to come at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it can be
Yeah,
a little overwhelming, but I think usually those two I find work well for most merchants. So
that makes sense. Good place to start. And you can always add as many funnels as you want to test. So, um, and also just to mention that so many merchants take advantage of our 14-day free trial to really test out different strategies like that. It's a great way to see what's going to work for your store.
yes.
So yes. Okay, another question coming in. Which verticals perform best with CartHook?
Yeah,
And
that's a
you've
great question.
mentioned so many different ones, but are there some that really are going to perform well?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we definitely see a lot of merchants in kind of the beauty supplement consumable space. I think traditionally those verticals have used post-purchase for maybe a bit longer than some other verticals. And just because those types of products are not typically super high price point, and a lot of the products are very complementary to each other, they just tend to perform super well in the post-purchase space. That said, though, we work with a lot of different verticals. So it's not vertical specific. I always like to use the example of the golf brand that we work with. They sell golf clubs, and obviously those are a pretty high price point item, but they are really successful in the post-purchase sequence. They, a lot of times show like accessory products or different accessory golf clubs. I'm not a golf person, but their AOV is high and it works really well for them. So it can definitely work for more like niche, higher end brands like that as well.
Oh, that's so interesting. Yeah, I was just talking to one of our customers yesterday. They're sort of a luxury sneaker brand,
Oh,
and they
yes.
have a bunch of different funnels that work, like discounts on other sneakers, and then a cleaning kit for your sneakers. So I think that
Ooh,
one is kind of a good go-to for
yeah.
them. Yeah. Okay. Another question coming in. Let's see. How long does the setup process take? And do you ever need a developer? And you kind of showed us how quickly you can set up a funnel, but what should people expect when they're getting started?
Yeah, something that's awesome about our new app, especially if you've ever tried our checkout product, is that you do not need a developer. Certainly, if you maybe want to be making edits to like the actual checkout or your Shopify theme, maybe you want to bring in a developer. But to actually set up just a post-purchase page in your display criteria does not require any added development work, which is awesome. And then the whole setup process timing. I mean, I work with merchants often that are up and running within the same day of setting up their free trial. It depends a little bit on how many funnels you want to set up. But I would say typically merchants are able to see some new added revenue within a day. It's pretty
Oh,
quick.
that's
Yeah.
so great. It's working.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right. Our product team is going to love that this question is being asked. What features are on our roadmap? What's coming up?
Yeah, so there's a lot of really exciting features in the works. I kind of touched on a few of them. So some that I'm really excited about. One is that those additional options in the display criteria section. So like the collection-based criteria, tag-based criteria, the geolocation criteria. I think that's kind of potentially a really powerful feature for a lot of merchants. So that's coming this summer. We're also working on our dynamic A/B testing feature. So as you can see, it's already really easy to kind of compare performance across your funnels and your offers. But that dynamic A/B testing feature will allow you to just kind of more dynamically test offers side by side. So maybe you want to have a funnel set up and you want to test a 10% discount versus a 20% discount and see how that affects your conversion rate and your AOV. You'll be able to do that super easily with our new A/B testing feature. And then we're also working closely with Shopify. Shopify is building a number of new features for post-purchase as well. So I kind of teased that some new wallet options are coming, like PayPal Express. So we're really excited about that. And then one of the most requested features I get is subscriptions. So being able to incorporate subscriptions into the post-purchase sequence. In Shopify, we're working really closely with their team on that as well. So we're expecting that will be coming, the latest ETA is like Q3. So really excited about that.
Those are all super exciting. And
Yeah.
really, when you kind of go through the list of what Shopify is working on, that is just going to be more revenue for everyone. I mean, those unlock revenue and you can reach more customers with these post-purchase offers. So super exciting, and subscriptions can't wait for that. It's really going to help so many merchants with lifetime value. So
yeah, exciting.
I think we're coming up on time. I'm not seeing any more questions coming through. So I just want to thank everyone for attending. Thank you so much for being here. As always, we're here for your questions. We're here to look at your stores, your funnels. Please reach out to us and start that 14-day free trial. See how it goes. And as you're setting things up, again, let us know. Let us know if you have questions or you want some advice. We're here to help. And also, Katie already mentioned this, we have a blog at carthook.com/blog. Please check out our resources there. They are for Shopify merchants. They're to help you optimize every part of your store. Lots of great advice and tips and inspiration from other founders. So check it out. And thank you so much, Katie. This was really great and so helpful.
Thanks, Lucy. Thanks, everyone. Looking forward to staying in touch.